Schools want you docile, not dangerous. You want to know why most people wake up at 40 with a beer gut and no money? People live and die as nobodies because they never figured out the Matrix was rigged against them from day one. Pass a test and shut up. And check. What's poppin'? It's your boy Cross out here, Vice City Mafia. We run another Olo Dolo. We doing another rant, bro. Make sure to hit that like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. School's a scam. And if you don't think so, you're an idiot. And I'm not saying they're taking your money or any of that shit. They're just indoctrinating you versus teaching you any real skill. Memorization over critical thinking. Take history, for example. Yeah, they teach us history and what happened. But do they tell us the whole truth? History class in the US is soft. They feed us government-approved, sanitized fairy tales. They teach you dates and names so you could pass a test, not the brutal truth about money and power and how the world actually works. They glorify certain people and erase others and make you think history is about feelings instead of conquest and strategy. It's designed to keep you obedient, not informed. Real history is about winners and losers. But schools want you docile, not dangerous. Now let's talk about control. Yeah, school's not out to ruin you. But check this. They feed you this neat little history to keep you in line, following their script like a puppet. Teachers aren't evil, but if you're just nodding along to one fake version, you're missing the big picture. I've watched friends break free, learn the real past and level up. Don't be a fool letting them dumb you down. Shake off that laziness and grab the truth. Show some guts. Here's where it gets juicy. They're stuffing your brain with garbage. Sure, some lessons are fine, but memorizing random dates and glossed over junk, that's a fucking distraction. The real history, the grit, the fight, the lessons we need is buried under all that fluff. I've met guys who ditched the nonsense, chased the raw truth, and won big. Don't sit there swallowing trash like a chump. They don't want you questioning. They hand you their little history package and say, take it, don't think. But come on, where's the critical thinking? They're keeping you soft, not sharp, so you don't see the real game. Meanwhile, the top dogs know the real truth. Lastly, what about success? They're throwing you garbage that doesn't teach you how winners play. No power moves, no strategies. Just memorize and move on. Pathetic. Don't be a loser. Stuck with their junk. Take charge and grab that power. You want to know why most people wake up at 40 with a beer gut and no money? Because they trusted the system. They thought school was all they needed. Get good grades, go to college, get a job. And what happens? They're buried in debt, working for someone else's dreams, wondering why life feels so empty. That's not an accident. That's the plan. The system needs obedient workers, not independent killers. Ask yourself, when did school ever teach you how to handle real life? Did school teach you how to handle rejection? Did it teach you how to sell yourself, negotiate a raise, build a brand, or make multiple streams of income? No, but it sure as hell taught you how to stand in a line and ask for permission. It's obedience training. And they'll say, oh, but school teaches critical thinking. Lies. It teaches you how to follow instructions. Pass a test and shut up. True critical thinking means you challenge the narrative. You see through the propaganda. You ask questions nobody else is asking. And when you do that, the system calls you a troublemaker. They don't want thinkers. They want sheep. You know why history class is so watered down? Because real history teaches you one thing. Power respects power. Nations win because they're stronger, smarter, more ruthless. The truth is ugly, but it's real. They don't want you learning that. They rather you memorize some safe version so you don't wake up and realize you're being played. The same way empires have played peasants for centuries. Look at the people who actually run the world. Politicians, billionaires, CEOs. Do you think they got there by memorizing dates? They understand psychology. They understand persuasion and power. And that's the education they don't give you. They hoard it. Meanwhile, what are you taught? Be nice, get along, don't make waves. And then you wonder why life kicks you in the teeth. The winners aren't nice. The winners are strategic. The winners know how to fight for what they want. You don't get that in class. You get that by breaking free and finding your own truth. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you got to drop out, but you better supplement. You better start reading books they don't tell you about. You better start learning money, power, influence. Learn how to market yourself, how to build, how to fail and bounce back. Because school isn't teaching you survival. It's teaching you compliance. Ask yourself, why are you scared to speak up? Why are you scared to question authority? Because school beat that fear into you. And if you stay scared, you will stay broke. Winners aren't scared. They're calculated. So what's the move? The move is you become a student of the real world. You study power like it's your job. You learn skills that make you dangerous. Sales, persuasion, communication, finance, leadership. You stop memorizing and you start thinking. You stop asking for permission and take what's yours. People will call you arrogant. They'll call you crazy. They'll say, who do you think you are? And that's how you know you're on the right path. Because average people defend the system that keeps them average. They'll try to drag you back into the crab bucket. Ignore them if you want freedom, real freedom. You can't depend on the same systems that's designed to keep you dependent. You have to build it yourself. The education you need isn't in the fucking textbook. It's out there in the real world. And let me tell you something brutal. If you don't learn the game, you are the game. If you don't learn to use the system will use you. That's why most people live and die as nobodies. Because they never figured out the matrix was rigged against them from day one. School doesn't teach you how to win. It teaches you how to behave. It doesn't teach you how to build an empire. It teaches you how to fill out paperwork. That's why the real bosses laugh at you while you think you're educated. You want the truth? Winners self-educate. They find mentors. They read the raw stuff. They evolve. Meanwhile, losers hide behind degrees and wonder why no one cares. Because no one cares. The world rewards results, not attendance. So if you're sitting there thinking school is enough, you've already lost. You need to start unlearning the indoctrination and relearning reality. Here's your checklist. Start questioning everything. If they tell you it's true, ask who benefits. Learn money, not how to budget. How to earn, multiply, and protect it. Learn persuasion. If you can't sell, you can't win. Period. Build your body and your mind. Weak body, weak mind. You need both. Surround yourself with killers, not clowns. Your friends determine your future. None of that is in the curriculum, but all of it decides your life. Bottom line, stop being soft. Waiting for someone to hand you the truth. School won't give it to you. You have to take it. Fight for it. You have to be willing to be hated for it. That's the price of freedom. The world is run by wolves. School teaches you to be a sheep. Which one are you going to be? And with that, we out. This is Vice City Mafia. Thank you for listening to me rant. Peace. VCM, baby. Bye.